All right, how you doing? Welcome to my very first attempt at an instructional video for guitar. A couple things that I hope to achieve with this. One was to learn something that I felt was a little above my skill level and outside my comfort zone. And then two, see if I could actually turn around and explain it. I'm not a guitar teacher. I haven't really done a whole lot of lessons as far as that goes. But I wanted to see, if I could do a couple things that I felt would be challenging to do. So the song that I'm doing is by a Canadian band called Saga. It's called On the Loose. Most of the video will be covering the guitar solo because there's quite a bit of stuff going on in that. But I'll run through the verse and chorus patterns as well. Now, if you know the song, you know what you're up against. If you don't know it, don't get intimidated by all the notes and stuff. I'm going to go through this at a very comfortable pace, and I'm going to break it down into parts. So we're going to do this at very slow tempo and make sure we get all the fingering and everything together and in the right positions and stuff. And I'm going to really reinforce the position part because there's going to be stuff in there that you've got to absolutely play in the right position. Okay, because there's going to be stuff that's like all inside of 4 frets. But if you're to do it the way some other people are doing it in videos, you're going to be like up here and then having to move down here and up here. It's a lot of wasted motion. What we're trying to go for is like an economy of motion, sort of. So we're going to start with the verse first because it's very simple. It's an F. Now you don't need me to play that with the sequence or anything. It is what it is. Now the chorus starts for him because he's got the 2-octave Music Man in that video. He starts on the 15th and 16th frets, 15th on the G string, 16th on the B, and he does this. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start it on the 11th fret instead, and that'll give us that nice longer slide up. Right? Because what he's doing there, he's doing it up here, but we're going to do it here. He's going down to first position to the E flat, and then going. So once more, super slow. The first thing you're going to hit is the 11th fret, B and E strings, barred with whichever finger is comfortable for you. I tend to do it with my 3rd finger, but it doesn't matter. Just. And then down to the first position. Now, if you want, when you do that, you can go back to the E flat on the A string and do. Sorry. But it's just more economical to do it all there, right? And in the video that I've watched and all the videos that I've seen him do it, he does it in first position. So now the first part of the solo, you're going to start on the B flat, which is going to be the 11th fret of your B string, and you're going to start with your 2nd finger, and it's a very simple. So that's you're going to play that twice. And then you're going to play the exact same thing on the E string in the same position. And then we do that, the scale that comes after that, which we're going to bar the 10th fret from your D string up to your E, but you're not actually playing the E. You're going to start again with the B flat, and you're going to play this descending. Right. So just to recap, we'll run through it at 110 BPM. after you hit that 13th fret, you're going to go down, and you have to do it this way, okay? There's no exceptions here, and I'll explain why. You have to start this on the E flat with your pinky finger, fourth finger, on the 6th fret of the A string, because this whole pattern can be played inside of these 4 frets here, right? So, and then you're going to do a chromatic run from the E flat down to the C. That's the second part of that little section. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to hit your E flat, and then the G, and then the B flat, G, and then you're going to bar the 3rd fret and just pick the B and then G string and slide out. Now that is pretty fast to be practicing if you're playing that for the first time. So if you want to take it down to 80 or whatever works for you and allows you to play all the notes properly and, you know, to a beat, it's really important to play to a beat, because all of this stuff like the 16th note picking, right, all that stuff has got to be tight with the hi-hat and the drums and everything else, and there's stuff that hits shots with the snare, right? So it's really, really good for your overall sense of timing to play to a beat of some sort, right? All right, so the next part in the solo, after we do the, this is where we slide up, and we're going to start with our 4th finger on the 13th fret of the E string, and we're going to play, I'll just play the scale by itself first without the emphasis that he does. It's going to be these notes. So all right, now after you've done that little riff of, you're going to go down to the 2nd fret. Now this is where I'm going to insist again that you play it this way, because it's going to make sense, and it's way more economical in terms of motion and energy and everything else. And it's also how he does it. And you'll see why this all makes sense once we put it all together. So you're at the A on the G string, 2nd fret, and you're just going to play a chromatic up to C. And you're going to do that like 4 times. Sorry, 2 times, and then it's going to be, and then back to, so you get why I want you to do it here. Right, because that's just a 1 fret movement, right? Again, A on the 2nd fret, on the G string. 3rd time is, back to the E flat. Now, again, this is another one of those parts, play it with a rhythm of some kind. All right, so we're going to just do a little playthrough. I've notched this down to 100 BPM to make it a little easier. And then all over again. And you just end on the E flat and then go up, because that's where the singer comes back in. All right, so we've covered everything. We've covered the solo and the verse and chorus parts. I'm gonna try and play out on the full 130 version of this, so you can see how messy this gets when you try to go too fast.